one needs a release.
That is the camera for those who have to refuse.
All right, we set? Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Obviously, a lot of changes we've seen recently. Before we even get into any of that, I would like to introduce Leroy Matthews to do our opening prayer for us, if you would please, sir, and then we will get into the agenda. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome, and what a beautiful crowd. The Bible teaches us that we should always have a prayer before any important undertaking. And we've got a lot to talk about today. So let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of our Buck Knife group meeting here today to show and tell our Buck Knives their story to the public. We ask for your guidance, your strength, your wisdom, and for us to have a very successful show. You know our founders, the Buck family, who have always had you as their senior partner and always mentioned your guidance in all the knife products that they sell. I know of no other company that does that. We treasure the memories of Chuck Buck and Vern Taylor, who started this knife fraternity, and so many ambassadors who have helped along the way. I remember Paul Lentz, Mary Andrews, Gene Shoemaker, the Burns. They were a lovely couple. My trader, Bruce Dollinger, and just recently, Pat Donovan. What a great ambassador he was. And so many more that we know are together in the Lord's keeping. We ask that you grant our club members your blessings during this event and a safe return to their respective homes after the show. We thank you again for preserving our nation, where we still have the freedom to enjoy such a fraternity as ours and to be a part of a Christian organization. And I say amen.
Amen. Thank you very, very much. That was beautiful. Leroy, thank you very, very much. It's a pleasure to have you do that. That's beautiful. So thank you very much. So now we're going to get into the formal part. I want to welcome everybody here. My name is Dale Eichberg. I am the new president. And I think we're going to start off by saying change. My goodness. It's inevitable. It's scary. It's happening. Matter of fact, it's happening in the club. It's happening in the Galleria. It's happening in the world today. I mean, every day we're getting something different from every direction. I'd like to say it's one, but it's from every direction. But there is a good thing that can come from change. That is change itself. It's an opportunity. And it's an opportunity for all of us here to speak up and help make this a better club. I mean, at times I feel like the club, we do everything, we do things in secret, or maybe we don't, but maybe you all believe that we do things in secret and we don't get you all involved. And the most important change that we want to see this year and going forward that we build upon is that we want your opinions, we want your suggestions. We're going to be more open on the Facebook pages. You know, when we just did the t-shirt, thanks to the bigs back here with, talking threads, we got your opinions on the t-shirts if you're on the Facebook page, and we took those to heart. And Tony was there participating with us on that, and we came up with a new t-shirt design based on what everybody, I think, wanted. Everybody. That's a big group. But I think in general, wow, we really did get something that people like. And I think it's a great design. We've got the eagle, we've got the club, we've got the new logo. So again, I want to thank everybody here and listening, if you are anyone out there. Thank you, because we want to have your opinions, and that's one of the key things we want to see change. So I want to thank you for that. Our mission as the Buck Collectors Club, we all know, it's to educate, to promote, to display, and we've got that. But there's also the preservation of legacy. The four founders of the Buck family, what they've done, their relationships, with the community and what they've done. We want to be servants to the Buck Company. We want to proudly be ambassadors for Buck. We want to do what's right for them, and we want to build that relationship. That's very important for us to do that and have an ongoing relationship and rapport. We also want to engage in the community. We're very thankful for our veterans extremely thankful for our first responders. If we have any veterans in this room here today, we definitely want to know who you are. We've got some coins for you. If you're a first responder, please let us know. We've got some stuff for you. We greatly appreciate that. So we want to be supportive of the community. We want to be supportive of Buck Corporation. We want to be supportive of our own legacy that we are trying to build, and we're changing and creating a new one here by hopefully coming across a little bit different than we have in the past. That's our mission right now, is to do something a little bit different. It's going to be scary. It's going to be changed. But I think for us to grow, we have to be different. We've got to change. We've got to get our youth involved somehow. Us young folks up here, we're not quite. We need more youth. We need more people. We need to grow. How about just stopping at that? So, with that, we do have a full agenda, and let's start off, if we could. I'd like to introduce, if our officers could introduce themselves, who they are, their position, and then we'd like to go around the room if we could and have everyone introduce themselves as well. So, is it coming through, Barbara, at all?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
That's why I had to mute it.
Matt, can you start us off, please, sir?
Sure. Matt Natal, I'm our new vice president. Joe from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Brian View, life number 638. I lived in my car, and I was joined in 2000, so this is my 25th year.
Hey, hey. The bear.
I joined before mine did, mine's 649.
I like Brian better.
I'm G. Merritt from somewhere. I'm fine. Thank you all for coming.
Gene is our treasurer. He'll be newly elected to that term once we get into more business today, and he's done an excellent job of getting us back on track.
I'm Barbara Merritt. I do membership and website, and I drive Tony crazy.
And as we also like to say, Barbara's really the CEO of this entire operation here.
Yeah, no, it was a short trip. You know, just one stop after Gene, and then Dale's the next stop.
I'm Dale Eichberg. I am from the north part of this area. I'm up in LJ, Georgia, member 2272, and been an avid collector pretty much since I was 12 years old, but more recently the past 20 years. So thank you for being here.
Leroy Matthews, and I noticed it, didn't know until today, Brian and I are just 2 numbers apart. I'm 636, he's 638, so Vern Taylor had to sign us both up. And I'd like to tell you about it. Vern Taylor was a very colorful cowboy-looking guy. Always had Western clothes, and gosh, he and some of these old guys that I mentioned in the prayer were real, I mean, they were just hustlers for the Buck Knife Company. That's what I've always remembered after saying. Every time I'd see one of them, I almost want to run because I knew they were fixing to hit me for something and tell me about something. TJ would know all of that, but quite a guy.
I'm Jane Matthews. I am Leroy's wife.
Hey,
I try to hold him down. So.
we appreciate that. Thank you.
David Glass, yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the camera and running the tech support here, so that's the fun part. Member
Oh, yes, look.
18, yeah, I do. You guys don't give me enough of these badges. I only have like 3 of them now, so I don't
Order
remember
another
them.
one for him.
Yeah, I know. So 1869, and I'm from Virginia.
Yeah, we'll go that way. Thank you.
Betts. I joined last year, number 4552, and I'm
I'm Brian Woods. I'm member 3552. I'm in the Buck Knives fan group on the internet. I feel like I'm really, my title is like internet police.
Yes.
So if any of you guys are on there, you know I'm kind of like internet police.
Yes.
That's kind of it.
Hi everyone, I'm Sharon Kaya. I don't remember what my number is. I'm sorry. I think I joined maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but I've been rather inactive. And my interest in Buck is because my
YouTube channel called Have a Knife Day. I'm an Army vet, 88 to 96, a Gulf War veteran with the 82nd Airborne Division and the Big Red One. And I love knives, I love history. A couple years back, I did go to Post Falls to do a tour video and also the upstairs museum. If I'm not mistaken. I've been hit in the head a couple times, so I can't remember everything. This is my wife, Naoko. 4 years. Apparently she likes it. And I'm more into wanting to instill the love and passion for American made, the importance of being able to manufacture, be proud of what we make here, and investing in our own country and sharing it with the younger people. We have not, because we have sold our heritage, and that's a sad and tragic thing. So it's made here, it's worth fighting for, and don't give up the ship. Even though I was an Army guy.
Jason?
I'm Shelley Biggs, and I'm talking friends of Puerto Rico. Thank y'all for having me today.
Marston, son-in-law, not a member yet. We will all tackle you later.
I may try.
Maybe we'll try.
Facebook friend though.
I'm Richard Glass. I didn't see you back there. It's point of all his life. Kevin Aaron, Thomas, and George, and Black and Black. I'm Walter Knox, my number is 4173. Last number, bought my first knife with a gun show. Just triggered something that I think we do This is my wife, Lisa.
Ray McKinnon, I'm from Buckingham, Alabama, been a member, I guess 7 or 8 years. Enjoy the company and the place.
My name is Leonard Tatro. I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee. Didn't even know there was a buck collection club.
Collection.
This is certainly wonderful. My connection with buck is my father carried a buck, and the last buck that he had before he passed, I gave him 110 elkhorn. It was a beautiful ride. And so about the last year, maybe in 4 months, I decided I wanted to collect 110. So I got every year from 86 on and a whole lot before. And it's a great American product. And I'm certainly in awe of this company and how it has survived. And I hope that it continues to do that. And I'm proud to be here. I am a guest. I will become a member. Thank you.
Karen Hill.
Oh, Karen, you have better stories than that.
Just Karen, like make this fun.
Awesome. Well, I look like the new guy in the group, guys. I'm from Michigan, so I'm a northerner. My name is Mitch Glass. I'm from Holland, Michigan. Oh, that's Michigan. We're kind of a resort town area. A lot of boats and bands and good times. I'm kind of known as the nice guy in my area. Kind of started scoping out knives, clubs, came across this organization. What a bunch of fine people here, man. We just literally just met some of these guys in the last 24 hours. So just hoping to do a lot more. I don't have a lot of buck knife deaths, I guess. As we get over here with Tony, right? He's not way behind, right? Yeah, I'm looking to do a lot more. It looks like a great pair of people, Christian base, American base, and all that stuff. Why is it been in like maybe 6 months? Then you were waiting for something. And get hooked up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Welcome.
Hi, CJ. My member number is 39. I don't know when I got it, but whenever that was. But it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Chapter 38.
And Vern Taylor signed me up, so I was one of those.
As a baby, right?
But anyway, Post Falls, Idaho. We relocated out of California, Idaho. So glad we did. Continuing to manufacture was important, and that was one of the decisions the family made, that wherever that we could have stayed in San Diego and just been a marketing brand importing company. Because California just wasn't a good place to manufacture, and I didn't know that wasn't what we were going to do. So we relocated. We looked at the Tennessee, Kentucky area, because wherever we were going to go, the family needed to be able to live there and enjoy it. So that area, I'm not a humidity guy. So humidity and I do not agree. So Atlanta is not my favorite summer destination. But so North Idaho is a wonderful place in the summertime, and it's a little chillier in the wintertime, but put up with that and get heaven on earth in the summer. But anyway, so that's where we decided to go. Relocated our company. We've got 320 people up there. So life is good, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So thank you.
Thank you,
And I gotta follow that.
All right. Always.
My name is Tony Wagner. I am the community marketing coordinator at Buckeyes. I'm also the liaison to Buckeyes. Been collecting knives since I was 14 years old. I tell people that I always wanted a buck knife, and I ended up with a buck wife. His youngest daughter is my wife, Rachel, and I now live the buck life. So here I am. I'm a lifetime member 3153, and I look forward to this meeting and get stuff moving forward.
Great. Thank you, Ted.
With that,
Oh, up to me.
Well,
Right?
well, we could do this slide. This was.
This is glamour shot.
Give me a second.
Glamour shots. We can get past that one probably pretty quick, unless you want to get some darts. Have you got any buck darts? We can try to see.
That would be a great dartboard.
That would be a great dartboard. It really would. So,
So that's a project for the
Project?
next door?
well, we got to find some new buck darts somewhere.
Okay, that's
Okay, so that's a recap of the board there, and
We can do a hatchet throwing.
yes, yeah.
The axe.
the
Oh, now?
If you would like to, sir, since I know your time is very important, and if you have to take off at any time, we'd love to have you talk to us a little bit.
All right. Okay, so public speaking's kind of new for me, so I get nervous. Oh, there we go.
Like that guy, you're an imposter.
I use your glamour shot when I do stuff.
Okay, well, with no further ado, thank you very much. So a couple things I wanted to cover today. One, just a quick overview of kind of corporate status, so a little insider baseball as far as Buck is concerned. Want to talk a little bit about legislation, some of the victories that we've been having and continue to have, and then you guys probably don't need any new product updates. Anyway, so if there's any questions at the end, we'll take them. So from a corporate standpoint, we have, this has been an interesting year. So we ended last year in a wonderful year. Record sales, so we're 52 plus million. I guess just we're it was a high mark for us sales-wise, profit-wise was excellent. So from a corporate health standpoint, really solid. So then we roll into this year wanting to do that again. And this year's a little weird. So the whole tariff aspect, we basically had our overall community get deer in the headlights for the month of April. Not really anticipating that it's going to be a big problem for us. Being we're 80% domestic, 20% import, so the import tariffs don't really impact us all that much. But what they have done is they have taken some of our largest accounts and made them very nervous and hesitant and not sure what they're doing. And so POs that we would normally have gotten, things are on hold. So it's just kind of this weird stasis place that we kind of find ourselves. April was probably 30 points off forecast. May was 5 points off forecast. I mean, we're just expecting it 30, 60 days from now, all this tariff stuff's going to work its way through. And, Trump and Elon will get remarried and everything will be happy. And so, we're probably looking at a fairly successful final 2 quarters of the year. But right now we're just preparing we got all kinds of plans. We got bug out bags, corporate bug out bags. Anyway, so for all of that, but other than that, life at Buck is pretty awesome. We've stabilized. The whole COVID thing threw everybody into a ringer, and getting people to work was difficult, and everybody was working remote, and then they weren't, and blah blah. So all of that stuff's kind of dialed itself back in. The state of Washington continues to be very strange. So we're a close, they're our next door neighbor. And so they've impacted us with some minimum wage scenarios in the state of Washington that spill over where we are. Being so close to the border, we have a lot of Washingtonians as employees. And so, that's created some issues for us. But yeah, nothing serious, solid. The corporate structure at Buck, Lane Tobiasen has been here in years past to introduce. So Lane represents the first non-family member president of our company. So we have kind of some outside expertise. I was joking with him the other day that family companies tend to produce leaders that are absolutely qualified to manage yesterday. And so because as you grow up in a business, everything you've seen in that business is what you've experienced up to that point. You have no experiences beyond that point, how to grow to the next place. So what we've done is we've hired an individual who has public corporation experience, strong marketing background, because the brand legacy is crucial. Little less, which he'd be the first to tell you, a little less of an operational background, but more of a corporate branding legacy management background, which was crucial for me, in making that determination. So he's been with us. We're going into 3 years now. So really, really happy with, he and I'll sit down and chat and be pretty much done quick, because he'll figure out where I'm going. I haven't even said it yet. And so it just works out that it's nice to have someone where your mind is going in the same direction. So that's it from a corporate standpoint. From a legislative standpoint, we've had some really good. I'll share another little insight with you, but the leadership, you guys will get a kick out of this from a board, club, organization board, but the issues we're having with AKTI from a people place is that a lot of our industry is no longer family held. So we have a lot of competitors that are corporate, they've been bought. And so the people, the executives that they send tend to not have long shelf lives compared to family businesses. So as we're grooming people to take leadership positions, about the time they're ready to step up and take a leadership position, they're either fired or quit or they've merged with somebody and now they're doing something different. They're running charcoal broilers now instead of knives. Anyway, so it's been a difficulty where it's between me and Mark with Columbia River Knife and Tool, kind of the two family businesses. We just trade back and forth of, okay, you get to be VP the next 2 years and I'll be president. Okay, now you get to be president and I'll be VP, blah, blah. So anyway, but AKTI has been accomplishing some great things. So this year, Vermont had we've been going after the automatic and gravity knife statutes. And so just to put this in perspective, we had a little shindig last night for AKTI, and I shared that in the late 80s, my father went back to Texas to testify in a legislative hearing about why the 110 folding hunter was not a dirk, dagger, or switchblade. Now, imagine how far we've come since then, where autos are legal most states. None of our accounts are saying sheriffs are coming in and confiscating their inventories like they used to. All these things are no longer happening. So we've been amazingly successful in re-educating the American population about knives as tools. Yes, like any tool, it can be a weapon, but for the most part, these are tools. Everybody should have one. You shouldn't be afraid of them. And so that's how much progress we've made as an industry. So what's happening this year is the state of Vermont had a 3.5-inch blade length limit for automatic knives for whatever reason, why they felt like that would make a difference, why that was important. So they have eliminated that. So that's just been, it's taken 10 years. So working with, he was a congressman for Vermont, Pat Brennan. Now he's a state senator for Vermont. But he's been working on that for a long time, got it through. So the governor hasn't signed it yet, but he will. And so that'll probably take effect the beginning of July. So that was a victory. We went after the state of Washington. Again, there are weird psychedelic neighbor. And so we had, it looked like it was going to get really close. Washington passed a law that said you can manufacture automatic knives in the state, but you can't sell them or possess them in the state. So now we've been trying, this will be our fourth. We've tried 3 times. We've gotten through the Senate all 3 times. We just get hung up in House committee, and then the session ends. And what happens, for those that don't know, if you don't get your bill passed within the session, you start over again in the second session. You don't start where you left off. You start completely over again. There might be some new people now you have to train and educate. But for the most part, it just starts the whole process over again, which works really good for legislators and lobbyists. Because it's nice to be able to walk the same ground over and over again and get paid for it. So when you're paying those bills, it's really irritating. So Washington, we are going to try again next year. And then the other one that we were successful with is the state of Delaware. So this, a year ago, we had the National Association of Sportsmen's Caucuses, which is it's state legislators that are interested in hunting, fishing, and outdoor recreation. And so they create a caucus, a group. It's bipartisan. It's Democrats and Republicans and independents, never mind. So it's Democrats and independents and Republicans all working together, and they talk about Youth Fishing Day, and they talk about bag limits, and do they outlaw bear hunting, and do they do this, and are dogs allowed, and blah. So they go through and make all these rulings, and if somebody has a success, they get together every year at these NASC conferences, and they talk about, this was successful, this was a pain, how did we get through this lawsuit, what were your arguments, and they just kind of help each other succeed in managing wildlife and being successful. So 2 years ago, that was hosted in the state of Delaware. So the Delaware State Sportsmen's Association, the DSSI, was there. Numerous legislators were there. We were able to interact. I did a demonstration where I had the shop make me 4 bladeless knives that I could say, okay, here's a 2-hand opener, Here's a one-hand opener. This is legal in your state. You know, it's a thumb drive. Put that down. Here's an assisted opener. Here's a flipper. Put that down. These are all legal in your state. Here's an automatic. This is not legal. So I'd pick up the flipper again. That's legal. This is not legal. And the flipper's faster. And so once, and the legislators that were there went, okay, that makes perfect sense, that this is a law that is creating interactions between police and civilians that is not making anybody safer. There's just no logical reason for these things to be designated as different. The other thing that happened this year, anyway, so Delaware, it made it through the House. No, it made it through the Senate. We will be in House committee. It's the House Judiciary Committee for the state of Delaware next Wednesday. Should go through. Then it'll go to the floor. Should go through. Then it'll go to the governor. And we've been told that by summer this should be a done deal. So that will be the state of Delaware. We're really down to Hawaii, Washington State, New Mexico, and Minnesota are really the 4 states that still have not budged, and we can't get them to budge. So we'll continue to work on it. But the victory list is narrowing because that's still happening. We have 2 bills going through federal. So the Interstate Transport Act, which says if it's legal where you're starting from, legal where you're going, it's legal to have with you as long as it's not on your person. So you can be traveling on a hunt, have a 5 or 6 inch blade, and be driving through all kinds of areas where it's a 3-inch blade max, or it's some rules, some city rules, some town ordinance. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff on your trip, as long as that knife is in your suitcase and not, you can't have it on you, but you can have it with you so that when you get to where you're going, you can have the tool that you want. So we've been trying to get that passed for about 10 years. We've been through the Senate twice. The House keeps holding us up. So we're going to continue to work on that. And we're also continuing to work on we call it the interstate, don't remember what we call it now. Free Commerce Act, or anyway, it's the repeal of the Switchblade Act. So we continue to work on that and continue to make progress, continue to educate people. I mean, it's the same deal where you once you show somebody what this is all legal everywhere, this is interstate commerce and customs importation is limited on this product, just makes no sense. So from a legislative standpoint, just continue to make progress. And now AKTI is now going to start evolving into more industry assistance. Tony's involved with the anti-counterfeiting, which is usually important. We want to do more when it comes to being a friendlier industry as far as not stepping on each other's brands or trademarks. So we're just trying to create a better interaction. And it is also really nice when you're dealing with competitors, where if you know them, you can call them if something comes up. You know, I've had people call me and say, hey, we're coming up with this product and we noticed you guys have a registration for this name, but you're not using it. Is this a problem? And sometimes we'll say, nope, not a problem, go for it. Or we'll say, yeah, we got a product coming up in a couple of years, a family that we might reuse that brand. So please don't use it. So that type of friendly interaction is important. I'll end really quickly since I've overused my time with just a quick new product update. We have a new product that I'm really, really proud of. So we call it the crossbar mechanism. It's the range series that Van is holding up. No, I got one. So this is, if you guys are familiar, this is Benchmade had what was called the axis lock. We're calling it the crossbar lock. This was a patented lock that has now run its full course through the patent system and is now available to the industry, just like a lockback or a liner lock or a frame lock. This lock technology now is available, and it's a great technology because it doesn't put any It's super strong. I mean, you literally have to break the knife to break the lock. So it's super strong. It's 4 or 5 times stronger than your normal lock back, which can bend and release. You know, these things you have to crack the back of the handles and move this bar in order to make the lock fail. Super smooth. There's no, because unlike a lock back, there's no contact with the blade while it's opening and closing, so it's just super smooth, super easy. And so this knife right here, we're doing in aluminum handle, large and small. 791 is the large, 790 is the small. We're doing plastic handles version, and then this is the pro version. So this is Magna Cut. The standard version is the 154 cm. I don't know what they cost because I never buy them. But,
The large leads are around $279. The smaller ones are $260 on the elites, the Magna Cut.
yeah, this is the Magna Cut.
And on the plastic handles, I will have to look, but I want to say they're $180.
Okay. So the issue with this, we were supposed to introduce this in January. The aluminum ones were ready to go. The plastic ones, we were getting warp in the handles, so we had to redesign the basic mold of the handle. So the goal now is August introduction. So this one right here that I have been carrying it all weekend. We put the Blade Show logo on it. I signed it and am donating it to the club. So you guys can do whatever you want with it.
Thank you.
And then just for fun, I signed a 2025 catalog.
Oh, okay.
With
Those
Blade.
are gold. Those are gold.
Very rare.
So, the other new products, we've done a heritage series, the 100, our standard fixed blade series in the wood. We've done a couple of new imports, the Ruckus and the Stinger. So we are continuing to do our import program. Really quickly, the tariff thing, like I said, we're domestic manufacturing, so the tariffs don't impact us. In fact, if anything, we think they might even impact us in a positive way if it drives more focus on domestic production, tariff-free, so free range. We believe in free tariff products, but so we've just continuing to work that way, and I don't know, feel like I'm recycling. So any questions about Buck?
Looks like you're doing a drop point on that knife, not a flip point.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Correct?
That is correct.
Wonderful.
I won't open it.
Yep. Any questions, Evan?
Sure, a couple of them actually. Where do you guys rate overall for an American knife manufacturers? We used to do it over 300 employees. That's pretty big compared to a lot of knife companies. Where do you think you rate in that?
As far as number of employees?
Yeah, as far as size, not necessarily sales, because that's affected by a lot of different things. Just,
Yeah.
Give back community's been around a long time.
You know, when it comes to there are a lot of small American-made companies that I've lost track of. There's just so many. As far as the big key, case is still in Bradford, PA. I don't know how many employees they have.
Cutco Corporation.
No, Cutco's different. Cutco and K-Bar under the same brand. And they're in Ohio, I think. They're in New York. Yeah. But they're right there where all those states kind of merge together. So Gerber has been struggling. GSM has been buying brands. I don't know how much they're manufacturing. So we've lost a bunch of brands. SOG and Cold Steel were bought. So those are the corporate, but they're imports. Millis is gone, and then Benchmade, but they have high sales but low employees because the knives are just so valuable. So they only have a fraction of the employees we have. Yep. Right.
One of the big ones, man. Check you guys out. He's got a great company.
Thank you.
CJ, talk about your internet sales and how that has grown from, it was about 30%. And of course, we get notices, you know, just about every day. The guy's a great salesman, whoever's running that internet thing.
Yeah. Don't tell
If you
him.
don't buy something, he comes back and says,
He comes back
"You missed
and
it."
busts. Yeah.
Is he doing that?
Yeah.
That's your daughter talking.
So we have, you know, one of the changes we made when this was, you know, following 9/11. So this was 25 years ago. We just redid our whole. That's what prompted our move out of California. So we had to kind of retake our whole business playbook and reshuffle it. How we did sales reps, how we did manufacturing, the Toyota lean manufacturing, cellular manufacturing, and then get the heck out of Dodge. We could not be in San Diego anymore. So that prompted a whole lot of change that was really tough to deal with. Now then roll forward 15 years, so we get into 2017, 2018, and we are trying to introduce MAP, which is a minimum advertised price. What we were having in our marketplace was everybody was selling buck knives at basically wholesale. And so, you know, a 110, which should have been a $70, $80 knife, was a $30 knife. And it was just throwing all the value out of whack. And it didn't make sense. Because, you know, we try and do a special project. And okay, here's a $150 110 because it's got stag and it's got this and it's got that. So, but people are thinking, they weren't thinking it was an $80 knife. They were thinking it was a $30 knife. And so, man, why are you charging $100 to put stag on it? That's ridiculous. It's like, no, we're really not. Anyway, it was just throwing the whole value system out of whack. So the ladder wasn't making sense for people. So in 2018, we eliminated 73, like out of 75 distributors. So we walked away from about $6 million in business and rolled into 2018 because those people would not honor the pricing. And what MAP allows you to do is you're not allowed to dictate what somebody sells a product for, but you are allowed to not ship them. If they are not guarding your brand value, you are not required to ship them product. So what we had to do was make sure that if we weren't going to ship them product, nobody else was going to ship them product either. That's the discipline involved with MAP. And it was something we tried to do earlier and failed miserably. And so this next time was, okay, we're going to take a hardcore line with our new sheriff in town. We were going to take a hardcore line on, if you violate MAP, we will not ship you product. And so, oh, did you pass yours around?
Yeah.
You used to have a. Anyway, so we implemented MAP. So now in talking about our internet success, so we're going to do over 40% of our business direct to consumer through our store, our store in our factory, through the buck of the months and the specials that we do on our website, as well as being the seller on Amazon, so that we control that. And what that's done for us as a business has just been an enormously consistent sales velocity. So instead of, we used to do where Walmart, we would have a $2 million order pending from Walmart. And we would tell the bank that next month we're going to sell this much. And banks really want you to do what you say. And so then we would roll in and Walmart wouldn't order. And so we'd be 30% forecast miss. And now we'd have to go back to the bank and explain why our forecast didn't come through and why this didn't happen. And then Walmart might take another month and not do it, or Kmart, or whoever. And so that volatility was really difficult to manage as a business. So the beauty of doing the direct to consumer is, one, the margins are better for us anyway, but two, the consistency. Somebody is ordering something every day. And so that consistency is, from a manufacturing standpoint, is much easier to manage.
And it's working.
And it's working, yeah. And, the other piece is we get to control our brand story. We get to control SKUs, stock keeping units. So all the stuff we make is available for sale. Where before, out of the 100 things we were making, you could find 6 of them.
But this
8 of
time it's
them.
going to be a winner because it kind of resembles a Chris Reeves
Yeah.
in a way.
Oh,
That's what the market seems to be. I'm going to have to get 3 or 4.
We have them at booth 1152.
Yeah, we did bring some of the pilot runs.
First production run.
The first production run. So we have them in the booth.
Available to the public.
So we're super excited about that. So the product development's working, the revenue stream's working, the executive staff is stable. Like it just feels really good.
I think one of the neatest things that Buck does is to a young collector, just recently collecting, is that you have a symbol for a date, for the dates that they
Oh, yeah.
manufactured. Who decides these symbols and when is it decided?
We were just talking about that the other day.
I just think that's it's just a genius.
No, we started doing that in 1986 because we were doing a bayonet program and the government required it. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just do that from now on. We'll date code the knives. Other than that, they're little tricky little things that I never pay attention to that allows you to date stuff. It's a hard thing because I am not a collector. I use things till they break and then I get a new one. So we had to put somebody with a collector mentality in charge of managing the liaison with this group because I don't think that way.
Is it done late in the year before the next year?
Oh, it's done out. It's done out of ways.
Yeah, so
okay.
you'll notice the trend where the symbol rotates. So the batch of symbols are selected by our design engineers, and then they determine when it rolls out.
Yeah.
There are talks about potentially changing to a 2-code system, but we were just talking about it. That has not been.
We're talking about emojis.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? 2020 would have been perfect for the poop emoji. So eventually you will run out of codes if you're not on top of it. So you're trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah. So
you will notice that there are special symbols. 2002 was our centennial celebration, so we 50th anniversary of the 110. Special plate stamps, so we try to put that out there as well.
So I've way overused my time. You guys tell me when the hook comes out. But if there's any more questions.
I would love to hear more stories of Buck Goes to War.
Okay. With who?
As an enlisted man during my time in service, I could afford whatever I could, go pick up at the PX.
Okay.
And doing the research that I do anyways, occasionally I can get a gem and I can hear about the history of, well, my grandfather sent me this knife in a box, just like in World War II. Grandpa sent me a 45 or a 38 special. And hear these wonderful stories. And for someone like me, it makes me fall in love with the brand more. All the knives that I can tie into history are just make me so happy. Also, I don't have any safe clicks. They all go in my pocket. They are all right on my hip. My last purchase of a Buck, I got a special from Joe Hauser.
Okay.
The 120 General.
I know him.
I love the 120 General, and I shall plug it again. I would love to have a phenolic handle, brass accent, black star coat blade. I will wear it on Sunday.
All right.
But that's just me. I shall beat that drum because I'm passionate about it. And when I go out to eat in Southern California in Orange County, I was wearing my 120, And the lady, this older lady comes over and says, "That's a big machete you got there." And I said, "Well, it's about
Well, thank you, ma'am.
general." And I started going to the whole story of it, how California is actually very permissible, depending on what Orange County being,
Yeah.
the more of a ruby colored than
Mm-hmm.
very, very permissive. And I wear it as part of my warrior culture. It's part of who makes me me,
Mhm.
my religiosity. And I wear it. They said, "Why do you wear it?" I said, "America." Because I can.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't a freedom if you don't use it. Then I talked to the younger people about it. I said, "Would you like to see it?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh." And I know every positive interaction that I have with the non-blade carrying culture
Yeah.
people in this country, I put another opportunity to make another dedicated fan, somebody who will wear and carry on tradition.
Yep.
But that's all because it's easy for me to talk about because I love it. You give me something I don't love, I don't want to talk about none. But you give me something that just I look at a Kalinga or something like that. I see the stuff up in your museum from the members of the Navy who would have access to more than an infantryman would have, and I see the personalization, the trench art, and all that, and it just gives me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah, we get stories all the time.
And I
So
would
that
love
would
to
be
see a
that would be
place where
good.
they're all collected and shared.
All right.
Thank you, Steve, very, very much. We
All right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yay, you did good. Next we have up is our club review, and we're going to start that off with our financial review with Mr. Gene Merritt. You want to stay there, Gene? You want there?
Here's good. The biggest problem is just kind of getting organized and accountability. We're about 99 and
We are the best we have ever been with regards to understanding our financial position of what we're spending, what's coming in. He is amazing at getting receipts. We needed to do that. We have responsibilities as a 501c7, and Gene has done a phenomenal job.
so if they're spending, they need to do it right and part of what I check up on. And it's worked out. We don't have any issues. Good cash flow. We're gonna get the website updated and we got the money to pay for it.
Mhm.
We're ready. If you have any questions specifically, try to see the small print, give it to you if you want. Overall, we're doing good.
I mean,
That's a general overall accounting.
the big numbers right there, everyone goes to the bottom line. We've got a lot of money. We really do. We've got 200, actually the latest number is about 209, updated, $209,000. We need to put that to good use, and we're going to do that with the input from our members. This is, we don't own, there's no shares, we don't own this. I mean, this has to go back and be reinvested in doing the right things for the club. That means improving the websites. We'll get into all this. Barbara's going to talk a lot about this, things that we need to do to be better. But we want your opinions on that too. So don't be shy. No, we're not giving every member $1,000 just because, but we do want to spend it on other causes. So anyways.
That's just a breakdown
That's a
of where
break-
the thing is.
That shows you where we're at, where the money's at. Again, 217. And with that, we're going to go to Barbara Merritt, who does everything.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I just want to let you know that we have 1,433 lifetime members. We have 756 annual members. And we have 39 youth members. We had a little help from PayPal that caused a serious issue with our website. So it caused some of our database and stuff to fail. We discovered at that point we had some members that we had no email addresses for, and we did not have any way to contact them. So I drove Dale crazy, I drove Matt crazy, Eugene, that's just second nature. we mailed out 650 cards to members that we hadn't heard from. I got about a 15% return, and we're still getting people. They were so glad that we reached out. So our membership is, we're reaching out every way we can, and even with this YouTube today, we're reaching members that can't come to a meeting. They'll be able to review the meeting. We're working with social media. We have the Facebook presence. Our newsletter editor, Jackie, is working with Reddit, and we want to get an Instagram and okay.
Twitter, not Twitter.
You're gonna start doing TikToks yourself, Barbara?
No, not me.
No fans. No.
No, we just want to get, so we reach the younger, market, and we're going to have Brian Woods, who, what's good about working with Brian, he's in a different time zone depending on which day of the week it is, and so he literally is the cop, and he can go 6 hours one way or 6 hours the other way. But no, we're just trying different things. We're working to get with some of our custom knife makers to get their talents. I don't know what the right word is.
Well, we're trying to be better at what we do. We've got a lot of talented members. We've got a lot of people. We want everyone's participation and contribution to this. This isn't just 9 of us, 10 of us up here going through everything and scrambling for these meetings. There's a lot that goes behind this every day. There are hours and hours put into this stuff, and it's not to pat ourselves on the back or complain. Every day, PayPal changes something. It messes something else. We have 2,400 members. We're getting messages daily. When people, ask a question, and we want to respond. If it's through Buck Collectors Club support, we've got finances like anything else. We need to start operating this like a business, only to do things right and responsibly for our members. And that's going to be some changes you've seen. We're going to be a little tighter on what we do, but we're going to be freer on what we can give back if we do it right. So it's been a challenge, and we want to be better, we want to grow, and we want to be accountable for the things that we do. Whereas I think in the past, we have not been accountable for everything that we do. We need to know what we've got and where we're going.
And just last year alone, we did have an increase in sales, even with all the failures with the website. We went from 2023, we were 132,000, and we're 134,000. So we are increasing, but it's with Tony's help and Dale and everybody's input. We need to know what you want offered in the store. We're not competing with Buck. We're not the Buck factory store. We have different unique Bucks that you can find other places.
And we can be the outlet for you too. There's many things that, you have your avenues, you have your preferred avenues. And Tony, you know that. But if there's things that you need to move and want us to try to move it through us, or if there's something you want us to help promote, where you want to get a feel for us to be maybe a little marketing in now. I know we're public, it may be too big of a field to market where it's going to be a surprise, but you're looking for opinions. I don't think this group is shy. No, matter of fact, we have to police some of those opinions recently. But anyways, there are a lot of things we would love to see us be closer working with, but serving what you all want without us just, meandering everywhere. So I'd like to see us get more aligned. And how we do that is just going to be a conversation one day when it's convenient, and see what value we can bring to Buck and to our members. Facebook, this is a breakdown of just where all our members are at, and I don't know, Barbara, if you want to say anything about that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
We've got all over the place.
And we have 449 active members on Facebook that will post something at least once or twice a week.
Oh yeah. We're up to 504 as of this morning, I think, 505.
And then with Reddit, we're at 190 members. So we're building as we go.
So when we talk about change, we talk about, what do we do? What have we done? What was change? Oh my goodness, the past 6 months, we have done a bunch, and some of it may be obvious to you, some of it may not be obvious. But we have a new newsletter. It looks great. Jackie and Barbara have done a super job doing that. It's 20-something pages. It reads well. No, they're not being mailed out anymore. You have to access it online, but you can always print it and put it in the format that you prefer. I'm not going to go through all of these here, but we've had issues with PayPal. We've reconciled that. We've come up thanks to Talking Threads, who are going to have a little bit of time to introduce themselves to the group. We've got a great rapport with a marketing end for our shirts and cups and stuff. They've been extremely responsive. Again, I'll get back in that later. But we've got official shirts. You're seeing we're wearing them. We've got options. I think it looks more professional. I think it means more of a team. I like that approach. I think we all like that approach. Facebook page, Reddit page. We've done the outreach, as Barbara mentioned. Mailings. We're getting responses. We're trying to reply. We've retooled our members only store. Oh my gosh. We've reconciled our inventory. We actually know what we have and what the value of it is, because it's important. And so we've done that. We've put all of our stuff online now that we can share amongst our board members in the OneDrive system, where we actually have folders. And if you need a receipt, if I've done my job right, you can go to the date, go to the folder, and there's something there to back up. You guys may be going, what the heck? Who cares? Well, as a club, it matters. And we have been unorganized, and we are now getting better at what we do. And it was required. We had to do it. Shows, we've done the Gator Show, Shenandoah, Oregon. We're doing the Blade Show. We've got upcoming events. Barbara, you want to discuss any of those?
One of the things that we have been doing in the past, we have helped David Yellowhorse on the Navajo Reservation. The auction that's going, no, it's a raffle, I'm sorry, that's going on right now, is helping to pay for fireworks. The fireworks price, I don't know if anyone is familiar with it, but it's just like, out of this world. But David and the whole family out there, it's a small community, but they do this gigantic, there's a parade, and they have a picnic. Gene does all the hot dogs. They have games for the kids, and then at night, Yellow Horse Cave is across the street from where we do the parade. But seeing the fireworks on that cave is like nothing you'll ever see in Disney World. And Dave is really good, but things are really expensive out there. There's just the economy is just not there. And those kids out there, you would think Santa Claus was there, when they see Dave. So it's just a fun place to be and do. So that's what we're doing with that raffle. We just did Cheryl Winter's custom knife. We did a raffle, and then we did an auction. Leroy is supposed to have knives ready for us, but we'll see.
Yep.
And we have Brian Yu, who's done some knives for us.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Brian's knives, you got to look at them again. They are pretty spectacular. And again, that's something we're trying to do. We'll get into this in another slide too. We want to use the resources of the skills. Everyone here brings something to the table, and we want to make that part of the team here.
You're a stakeholder.
Yeah. If you've got something, we've got Walter here. He's making knives, and they're looking great. Brian, we want everyone to participate the best we can. It's not just us sitting up here, because it's not fun just sitting up here. We want your help.
And David, this year we got him to volunteer to be the
exactly. So David's running this for us for the audiovisual, and we've learned a lot from him in many ways.
I just wanted to ask a quick question about the Yellow Horse auction.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any idea of how many more chances are left?
There's about 20 chances left.
Okay, so about 20 left. I just figured we might as well get that out. I know
That's great.
We have a few people watching online, so that if they're interested, they can go to the club website and.
Not while we're at the Blade Show, because we're not there to
not the
answer.
website. Well,
but you're right.
They can place orders.
Yes.
Is what I'm getting at.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure that the few people that are watching online can, right now on the stream, can actually know that there are still chances available.
Yes, and right now we've got the company store on hold while we're here. We'll reopen that back up, but yes, there will be opportunity.
I just wanted to make sure
Perfect.
that they knew that, yes, that is still up. That is still a potential thing.
Great, thank you. As Barbara mentioned before, we've got Reddit. I'm just learning what Facebook is, pretty much, if that means anything. Reddit is another It's not Facebook, it's another social media thing. We've got Jackie working on that for us. She's leading that. Matter of fact, she's doing it pretty much on her own, which is fantastic. Again, we've got a board member who is bringing something new to the table and helping build this group. She's doing a fantastic job with this. We've got 200 something members now, and to be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with it yet, so I've got a lot to learn. We're going to have YouTube. David's going to get YouTube going for us, and already has started. So there's a lot of things we're trying to reach out to the younger people, and not just the younger people. We're trying to reach out to anyone we can to get our information out there and to grow the club. It's very it's difficult to grow the club. We've got to find ways to do that. We've got to find ways to promote the club. We've got to find ways to promote Buck Knives. Next, we have award presentations. Another change. We're no longer really part of the Blade Show anymore as the Collectors Club. They kicked us out. We're here because we want to be here and see what we can do. But so there is no Blade Show awards, and because we're in the process of changing and doing, CJ asked me earlier, we're going to have the President's Award, and I would love for us to have done that. But it's the same three presenters. And as much as I would love for you to give one of us one of the knives, we figured let's just wait till we build up again, and we'll bring that back. We want to bring that back. It's important to us. It really is. Having recognition from you on displays is very important to us. But this year we figured let's just hold back. But
Has the show had any communication with you as far as next year after, like what their plans are?
all we know is no. The answer to that basically is no. And they've not done a very good job of even working with us while we're here with what we've tried to do this go around.
But Alicia, CJ, they're supposed to let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have some.
She says she's gonna.
Conversations.
But they don't, she says they don't know what they're going to do in the reconstruction of that, of the whole lobby area.
Yeah. Alicia's very good, but as during these, when you meet her at the show here, she's running crazy like all of us, running everything. But you're right, Larry, she doesn't know, and next year's supposed to be the construction. We don't know.
Okay. So you feel like you're getting the straight skinny?
Yeah.
You just don't know yet.
We just don't know. Yeah, we don't know where we're going to be next year, and that's going to be a topic too. We just don't know.
Okay.
But thank you. So, but we're not going to forget about our first-time displayers. I mean, that's important to us. So, if you could join us up here for a second, please. Walter Knock, you are. You'll come up here, please.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Cross your eye.
We have what we call Blade Show bucks.
Okay.
It was great fun designing. These are good in the company store. They'll be back online. It'll probably cover the hat and a couple other things that you've got.
Okay.
So we appreciate you bringing your knives. And another thing is, Walter's making knives too. So you need to stop by and see the knives that he's been working on and making. And we appreciate you being here.
I might change his knives.
He is modifying some wonderful, beautiful knives.
Gentlemen,
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
gentlemen, can you come outside here so you can take a picture? Stay right over there. Stay over there. We're trying to make magic.
Yes, ma'am.
Right over there. Memory. Good deal.
And it would not be any fun unless we had CJ and Tony back up here. Just for a short second. You don't have to talk.
Yeah.
Tony, you too.
Oh, we like to hear Tony talk.
Well, he's gonna talk later, but you don't have to talk this time. We have a new shirt design. Thanks to Tony and everyone else. We would like to present, and it's black, so we've got your color.
All right.
The only thing we may not have is the correct size. You may need a smaller one. You may need a smaller one. But again, this was made especially for us by Talking Threads. Since black is reserved for Buck, we've got them this and the new logo on the back.
Nice.
If you need another size or you want the gray one, let me know. We've got those other sample ones.
It's the nicest green shirt.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
There is a nice green one. There is.
Yeah, there is a other
green.
Well,
Oh,
we're gonna show this later, but one of my favorite truly is. I like the green, really do. But
Thank you.
we can trade afterwards to get you exactly what you all want, except for the
Take that
green.
shirt, give it to Mr. Barrett, please.
Yes, Mr. Barrett. If anyone wants the green shirt, Mr. Barrett has it. Already bought it.
I told him he couldn't have it unless he paid.
David, if you could join me for a second too, please, just for a quick moment. We would also like to give you some bucks. Not a lot, because this was a lot of work.
This was a lot of effort. This was a lot of effort.
A lot of
I
effort.
agree.
But thank you very much.
Let me, Ames says, yeah, I'm on the camera, unfortunately.
It's also for you, sir. Thank you for helping us with all this.
Thank you.
We learned a lot.
Yes,
It was not all fun.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
Well, I appreciate it.
It was a learning experience, though.
Yes, it was, and we're going to go forward with it.
Oh.
So thank you.
Bill, could you show the white shirt and then we can tell people we have them?
We're going to do that. We're going to do that at the very end with, but I'll be happy to do it now. Because we've got talking threads coming up here after all this. This is the shirt that's available right now. We've got the white, all sizes. It's this here. So what we've got to decide on is what colors do we want to put in the company store. We can't do them all. So we've got some samples of what people want. Black. Can we do black? Or do you prefer that you keep black for you guys? I mean, that's,
Oh, no, you guys, you can do black.
can we do black? Okay. Well, there you go.
Black is the new
Wait,
black.
where's Mitch? See, all I have to do is ask, but I couldn't let you do it yet, so I said. Okay. So yeah, we can do black, and we'll make that happen as well.
Those shirts are great, Jason and Jill.
Shelley.
I remember.
And what would be an awards situation if Barbara? I mean, if we
Get
didn't get
some.
Barbara get an award for anything, I'm not sure what we're giving it to you for. Except that we love you, we appreciate everything you do,
I'm being set up.
and it's paying the box, so
Oh, well, no, the ribbon, yeah.
the ribbon, and you may open that if you want.
Maybe I will. Pretty sure it's good.
You have a clue yet? Yeah.
You might need a knife.
Oh, who's got a knife?
Well, I didn't want you to know what it was. It's inside the red one.
Okay. He's like Gene when he packs. When you ever get knives from Dale or Gene and Brian, they are packed so they don't move.
We value our knives. If anyone has heard Barbara talk about anything that I have brought up recently in design, she has a suggestion. So now
I got my
it has to be pink. Why don't we do pink? Why don't we do pink? So Barbara, you now have your pink and the only pink keychain that
Oh,
is
so
in
this is a real designer.
This is a
collector's item.
designer. It's got initials on the back, CHINI.
$1,500 on eBay right now.
Thank you, Chef.
And we really want you to have that. So let's get going here. What's new? All right. New business, special projects. We've kind of already talked of that. We've done some nights with. We've always done nights with Hoover. We've got Brian Hughes has brought some of his knives again. We've got members who have the capabilities. Leroy Rember's doing some knives for us. Shelley has already done. Cheryl Winters has already done some for us. We want, if you guys have the skill, Walter, we're ready for you. You know, when you make if you make a knife or something, you know, when you decide to, we'd love to be able to,
Launch
you know,
them.
I'm sorry,
Launch it.
we'll launch it for you. Yeah. So we appreciate it. But I think Barbara's given the website update in a sense. We're working on a whole new website. We are going to spend money to do that. We've budgeted $10,000 to $15,000 of the 200-something thousand to do it right, to get the flow, to be easy, to be updated. Our last one was 10 years ago, and it's costing us a fortune to put plugins in. These plugins are little programs that work in the background that make the stuff up front that you see work, okay? We're so outdated. We are so messed up on some of the things, and Barbara could spend days trying to figure out what someone changed, or I can be spending days looking at trying to figure out what's going on, but it's pretty much Barbara. So anyway, so we will have a new website. Again, input is welcome. We've already done a lot of that ourselves, but if there's something that we're not doing right with the website today, let us know. Now's the time so we can improve it. I want to take a moment to thank Sean Jameson's not here. Sean Jameson's not online. Sean Jameson is out enjoying his honeymoon, okay? And we want to thank him for everything that he's done for us. And he has been fantastic, but he doesn't really give a hoot right now, except he loves Buck. He's newly married again and living and enjoying life. His priorities are totally messed up.
That's just messed up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
exactly.
makes his 4 trips a year to Buck.
Yeah, that's right. So we really appreciate and wanted to mention him as well. We do have some business we need to take care of. We have had a nominating committee. We've had 3 open positions. And the nominating committee, we actually have to do this officially now by Robert's Rules of Orders, as we need to actually announce the nomination, the position, and get an affirmative or a nay from the group here. So the 3 positions that are open were treasurer, secretary, and a member at large position on the board. Gene has been filling a role as treasurer. We would love to have him continue on as treasurer. Our secretary, that was Sean Jameson. He is off enjoying his life. His priorities, like you said, are totally messed up. He is gone. And Brian Hugh is going to come on as secretary. And then all the way from Maui, we have Brian Woods, who would like to come back on the board. He's had positions before, and we would like to have him back, and he has accepted doing that. So, and again, it's very important that we've got some representation on the West Coast to help us and to help us grow. So those are the nominations. I'd like to take a quick vote. All affirmative?
Aye.
Any noes, nays? You good? Okay. All right. We had one back there thinking about it. All right. So motion's passed. Congratulations to our new officers and board members as well. So thank you. Tony, do we even want to have this conversation? It's optional.
I suggest pass on this.
Okay. That's fine.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. That's good. I don't want to get into something we just don't want to get into right now. Okay. But we'll need to talk about it at some point in time, whatever it takes. Annual meeting next year. I don't know. If this is again one of these open things where you can contribute. Does anyone have any idea what we're going to be doing next year or where? We don't know. Okay, we'll communicate. We'll let you know. It may not be here. It may be we may be working with other venues, other night. It could be something like Bourbon and Blades, which may not be the right venue. I kind of like it. I think it's great. It could be Shenandoah Valley. We want to start working with some of the smaller clubs that we have a relationship with that we can continue to build, that already know of Buck, don't know of Buck, that we can work with them and give them some lifeblood to also give us lifeblood and go in that direction. So we don't know where we're going to be.
Can I ask, is there openness, or is there anything special about you? Or
No.
Different times could happen.
No, it can happen anytime.
It's in the bylaws, and that's what.
The bylaws say has to be.
No. Gene, go ahead.
Within the bylaws, that's where we have meetings, place, to us, place space.
So it could be.
Yeah.
It could be
Why would you
August,
not
it
do
could
it at
be.
the biggest knife show in the world? That gives you 20 display tables, 3.
Yep.
Meeting room, they give us room for a board, and they give us passes into the show. Well, that's evaporated and up in the air, but that's why it's in June. So
I mean-
find something where people will go to.
What about Glacier, Texas?
Well, we've talked about that. I've heard that hasn't been the greatest venue, and I've seen people shake their heads saying it's not the greatest. I feel a lot of thumbs down. How about we do it in Idaho maybe on a certain day? That's
We do one almost every 5 years.
Well, I know, but what if that becomes maybe a location that fits schedule. I mean, it's just an open conversation.
That was just my
Vern Taylor suggested the Blade show.
question. No, the Blade Show's good, as long as they're,
If it's happening.
Because it was
as
just
long as they're
growing.
being happy and friendly about it.
What exactly happened to you guys with that? Did Blade Show get too big and now canned everything that did, or is that what it is?
The Galleria here is remodeling, and they're remodeling.
But I think it's a combo of both. I think
I
Blade
do
Show
too.
did
It's
go
a
from,
business decision.
Blade Show did, I mean, been attending this for a while, so, there was a time when Blade did not even fill one of those,
Auxiliary rooms, yeah.
one of those sections, they pulled the curtains together to make you feel like you weren't in an empty room. So that you could fill up your little spot in the room, and so they were looking for draws, which this club was a draw. I mean, I still have people talking about, where are they, where are they, where are they? Coming up to the booth, they're always up front, they're always, so it was just a little city of fun times and part of the display. So it was one of those really interesting, and nobody, I mean, there was a lot of really boring case collections.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there were some really awesome themed buck collections that were all Western, were all history, or I mean, just these. You guys reset the bar for what an interesting collection was. I mean, museum-esque quality.
Sort of set the standard.
Not us. You, this group did that. And so, I think Blade just went from now, filled up 1, 2, 3, 5. So that whole room's filled up, the little rotunda's filled up, there's a waiting list. And so now space is at a premium. You guys, that's why they threw you out in front, which
Right.
want to create welcoming while everybody's standing in line.
Which was great.
So it worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out great.
So that may come back. I don't know the remodel schedule or whatever they have going on.
Holding pattern waiting.
So I don't think they're trying to be mean, but I do think this place has now gotten much busier, and it's a different corporate ownership. So I think that just like what you guys are doing, they're trying to make this a little more profitable than it used to be.
Yeah.
So some of the freebies, some of the things, but I mean, it's such a draw. It's one of those elements that how flexible you are when you need more stuff versus overbooked.
And when you're overbooked tight, that's right.
You're a lot less flexible when you're
and you've
overbooked.
got the new
Who wants to pay premium price? Come up.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
And so it's just a whole different mentality.
Oh, like I say, I'll speak up again and say, Alicia's been great, and she really has been wonderful. But we don't.
Could sure help I could ask around to see if any other companies are experiencing some of the same issues.
Okay.
And we could all kind of gang together as a group, as an industry group. And go,
That'd be
okay,
wonderful.
They've been open to feedback.
Okay, that'd be wonderful. I also got the impression that maybe, I don't know if it's true or not, I don't think Blade wanted to rent out that whole area where the concessions were, and maybe that was a separate cost to have all that, and maybe the Galleria is making more money on having those tables there and a place for people to sit for the concessions. I mean, maybe they didn't want to spend it, maybe that money was purchased, maybe that hall was purchased by Blade, and maybe they didn't purchase that this year. And it got offset by the gains they can make on concessions. Who knows?
The other thing is, if we had known about it and we could have worked out something, money is not really our biggest issue. Well, we'd love to be part of the Blade Show. It's the biggest knife show in the world.
Yeah.
And we need
What
to
about
consider
the
about
weight
buying the space right next to Buck.
That's not a bad idea.
And putting a display and then man the booth and pitch our brand.
That's
How about
not,
something in the Waverly?
CJ, it's still all about the money.
Yeah.
They had 3 organizations, and we were costing them money. We knew that.
Yeah.
And we knew that when we started out in Tennessee, with Bruce Ward had all. Maybe, I don't know, I've talked to them a lot, maybe they're gonna change, and we just have to wait.
but we'll be flexible. We'll figure it out. We want to do it. And what's your plan? Okay, I'm gonna let you on. Actually, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit here. You talk about new ideas, future ideas, and we're really towards the end here. Got this crazy idea about satellite BCCI groups. We've got people in Texas who sit there and say there's no shows to go to. Well, how would you like to head up a little small Buck Collectors Club group, get 20 of your people together. We'll work with you on, go meet at a hotel, have a dinner. Maybe we cover the cost of the meeting room for you, but you guys are on your own for your dinners. I'm getting some pretty good feedback on that. So I want to get your guys' opinion on that. We're from all over the place. I mean, what if Michigan, Texas, can you gather 20 members that love Buck, and can we grow our presence regionally, and then we grow it all together and feed into this group here? Okay, so that's just a wild brain idea that I came up with, but it's going to be. What I'm saying here is this is what I want to see this happen. I would love to say, okay, yeah, this worked, but again, if we say it can't work, we got to talk about it. So, we've got people from different areas here. Let's continue this conversation and talk about satellite groups that can get together on their, quarterly if they want to, whatever. You like that, Mitch?
I do.
Okay. So I've got you for Michigan now, right, to head it up?
Absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Done.
Chapter
Great.
chair.
Yes, you got it. We're trying to do better things in the member store. Okay, we want to get better things out there. That means we want to work with Bob to get some additional nights on there that we can do. We want to get better uniforms, fun trinkets, whatever. And with that, I am going to jump right to introducing Talking Threads. Shelley and Jason are in the back here. I live in LJ, Georgia. It's an hour's north of here in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. We've got bear, turkey, deer, raccoons that visit us, come in our house and eat the cat food and stuff. So we're out there, and fortunately we've got it's a zoo out there. We've got Jason and Shelley with Talking Threads. Jason's a lifetime member, retired law enforcement, and I just wanted to bring them here for them to tell you all what they do, mainly for us to give them ideas of what they can help us with on merchandise, but honestly, for Buck too, to hear about a very responsible, wonderful company that loves to do things for their customers. So with that, if one of you guys want to come up here and talk, and we've got Shelley Biggs here, and it's all yours. She likes pink too?
Everything should come in the option of pink. I'm just saying that.
Thank you, Shelley. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for
Yeah.
inviting us.
Yeah.
Yes, my husband Jason is coming too. We are truly a family-owned and operated business, very similar to Buck here, but everything is handled personally by us or our children. And we are just absolutely blessed to be here and be a part of this organization. And it absolutely made our day when Dale walked into our shop. He said he was with the Buck Collectors Club, and thankfully he was not there that day.
She called me and she said, "The guy with Buck just came in."
What?
Oh.
Go ahead.
We've been in business for a while. We don't see people as our customers, they're partners. And with working with you on that T-shirt, that was a blast.
It was
I mean,
fun.
we had so much fun doing that. From creation to fruition, that was really fun.
And Tony, and like I say, Tony was the one over there who actually ran it through the graphics department and everything to pretty up what we did and make it legal and everything, and
You want a
we
job?
appreciate it.
I haven't talked to Shelley about this, but I think we can work for Knots.
I think after our trip to the booth in there, we need y'all to order some more.
No.
You accept palletized delivery?
Absolutely. You look gay. No, we really look at this as a partnership because what you wear is a reflection of us. So we make sure that it's pristine when it goes out. If it's not, pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll make it right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
The response time has been great. Their work is very quality work. The prices they're charging us are way too good.
We can fix
I hate
that.
to say but, so it's a great partnership. And anyone in the room needs something done for other organizations, whatever, you guys have been wonderful, and
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it very
Thank
much.
you
Some of
very
the
much.
I'm gonna do a little showing off here real quick. I know you guys gotta run, so I don't know if I wanna let's go to Q&A first. That way, if you guys need to leave, we can do that, and we can show some of the merchandise and everything afterwards. So are there any questions? Sorry?
Yeah, I wanna do something right now.
Sure. Want a raffle?
Okay. Yeah, I wanna do one raffle.
Go for it.
Okay, the ticket.
024?
No, 022. Now, what it's for is going to be for the T-shirt that you just saw. So we just wrote a sample here, but we have all sizes in the white in the collector's club room. So bring your ticket, 022.
022. All right, that's you. Larry's got it. Great. So just come see us. Yeah. Let's get you a T-shirt back in the room. Any
Yeah.
size. I believe it's large,
I
correct?
don't have a ticket back. I might win something.
I believe you're large, right?
Yes.
I don't know, Karen and I just grabbed one.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna save you a walk.
That's good.
Thank you, sir. Very good.
That's good.
Sorry, Jim.
No. Do we want to do any more raffles right now at all, or do we want to go to just Q&A and?
Are you all Q&A'd out?
Yes, raffle.
Raffle, okay.
Okay. That's a take apart. That's a take apart.
That's a buck nine.
Yeah.
That part I knew, because you got the symbol here, but
Tony, pick a ticket.
that's what I was gonna.
Because you're gonna say, if you pick yours, you're gonna say, oh, John.
Right, see, I'm not looking. All right.
19.
019. Amazing. Now, 013.
That would be right back there.
013.
Walter.
Come on now. Verify it. That's 018. What do you think?
Awesome. Right.
Okay, let, Matt pick the next ticket, please.
Here we go. 00. Ooh, that's in the back. All right. Enjoy.
Okay, Brian, you get the
Brian.
next ticket. Yay.
Oh, thank you.
The last-
004.
There you go.
It isn't a, general. but
It's not a
close.
general.
Is it pink though? Is
No,
it-
it's not pink. You don't know what it was like, we got that pink done.
I want to make sure everyone knows Brian Woods, because again, Brian's going to be a new board of directors. I should have had you come up here and just say, hey, but you did introduce yourself. So again, that's Brian there, and he'll be on the board of directors. We got any veterans in the room that have not received excuse me? That have not received one? Yeah. If they already received one, you can have another if you want, but we're going to save them for other veterans. I don't know, whatever. Any veterans in the room that have not received? I'm sorry?
I can always pass it on.
Okay, there you go. That'd be good. Please do. Yeah, come up here and grab it. Let's get you one. Any other veterans? Any first? Please come up.
Veterans, please
Right.
come up.
We appreciate your service. Thank you very much. Yeah. First responders? First responders? Yeah, one.
Any first responders?
Any first responders?
Oh, sir, I was in the Army.
Okay. Well, if we're all questioned out and we are officially adjourned, I would like to show some merchandise to anybody if they'd like to see it. For those who need to run, please go relax for a few seconds and start over again.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone,
for
thank
being
you.
here.
CJ, Tony, if you need a different shirt, you need a different shirt, let me know. Yeah, sounds great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have not visited the Buckley yet. We're at 11:52. The new radio series is there.
Okay, I will go on and catch you. Okay. Here, let me go on.